latest polls would show that there was a movement of support going to the son of former President Marcos, former dictator, that's Senator Ferdinand Marcos Jr., because of some of the votes shifted from the daughter to his preferences. But I still see that this remains to be a very fluid environment whereby you could see some voters looking at alternative path to the Philippines post-pandemic, post the challenges of this pandemic that has been the weakness of the administration of President Duterte. So I see that being the narrative of Vice President Leni Robredo and also Manila City Mayor Isko Moreno.
I'm glad you raised that, Victor. And is there a sense that the Philippines needs a clean break from family politics, from dynastic rule almost? And is there a third force that can break the mold?
Yes, that is the polarizing issue right now. Would you like to continue the current path of this government for the past 5.5 years under President Duterte? And that seems to be the narrative of his candidate, Senator Bongo, or a perceived second candidate, which is Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. But there will be others who would argue that would we like to break away from the economic consequences on failed policies with regards to COVID response. So now it depends on the voters what path they would like to take. And it still remains to be seen. I still feel the fluidity of the situation because it's still a few months from now, and you will see campaigns really defining themselves by February of next year.
Victor, Martin here, and good to see you and appreciate your time. Hope you're keeping safe where you are. So you probably won't be surprised to know, and it should be pretty obvious that the press are having a field day with the run-up to the elections in the Philippines. Always very colorful, personality-based, etc., and very, very personal. Let me get your take on the key question, and that is, what on earth is Digong up to? Running for the Senate, one take could be, insulates him from ICC justice. There's that probe going on, but yet also gives him potentially the power, assuming he becomes the president of the Senate, to block any and all appointments that, let's say, Bongbong Marcos happens to make should he win the presidency. I mean, it seems like a pretty savvy fit.
That's a possibility, especially when you look at the powers that comes with the Senate president. You are the third highest ranking official of the Philippines. But that would remain to be seen if the president wins the Senate, and second, if he gets the majority of supporters. Because what we have seen with the Senate is that you have 24 Filipino senators who see themselves as independents. And as new presidents gets elected, you will see them shifting their alliances. And we have seen that in the filing of candidacy of majority of the elected or electionist senators. They have defined themselves independent of President Duterte, though they define themselves as coalition partners these past 5 years.